It's beautiful, isn't it? SkarBrand and the Blood Root versus Skulltaker, a Khorne on Khorne matchup. I love seeing this. Alright, so we're gonna find out who's the Blood God's chosen and who's the Blood God's new skull for his throne. Alright, 6 units versus 10, Adam TM versus SkarBrand-Chan, as he should be called. Always confusing himself and me, everyone watching. Cultists of Khorne. A very standard build from Adam. This is something I would bring. Maybe not a Cultist of Khorne. Maybe not even the Blood Reaper. Probably rock 2 more, this is just my style. Probably just 2 Marauder Horsemen. And SkarBrand has brought a very his style, which is giant monsters, Marauder Horsemen, Wrathmongers. I forget what his other unit is. It might just be 4? No. That's all of them. That's it. It all comes down to who can micro who. I mean, in this monster meta where all your chaff are pretty much just gonna do nothing but buy you time, a build like Adam's just won't cut it without support. And you need Marauder Horsemen to support him. That's where I trade out the Cultists and the Blood Reaper for Marauder Horsemen of Khorne, so they can throw axes while the monsters kind of mash on the chaff, on the Marauders of Khorne. Same with SkarBrand as he racks up skulls. And very smart of SkarBrand too, because the army ability of Khorne only activates when you have a lot of skulls to give, a lot of kills. And if all you have is single entities and skirmish cav that can never be caught, then you're not really gonna rack up them skulls. As for SkarBrand though, he knows how to play this. He's gonna drill Skulltaker into the Wrathmongers. He's got Minotaurs trying to screen out these Marauder Horsemen. Well done so far. And Skulltaker's just getting pounded. You got everything. Wrathmongers, the Blood Brute, SkarBrand himself, just racking up a beat down on poor Skulltaker. And it's just beautiful. I taken SkarBrand, the actual model, to an RTT on, this was a 40k RTT. And man, he just feels so good. It's so good. Now, he does 6 damage on a pop on tabletop on 40k, and that might not sound like a lot, but it's a lot. He'll be taking out Terminators and everything in just one. I've seen people surprised when they ask, so how much damage does he do? 6. And they're like, 6? Well, you wiped the squad. That's words you never want to hear coming out of your mouth when it talks about your units. Ooh, the Blood Brute's getting pounded. Yeah, Skulltaker took damage to him. Oh my goodness. That thing has got like over 10k HP, I want to say. It's already dropped down to, say, 4,000. Yeah, I got it. Shit rock. Well, when you put it in with Skulltaker, Minotaurs, and Wrathmongers of your own, and then you have Marauder Horsemen. Oh, he doesn't have Marauder Horsemen. Those are SkarBrand's. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's actually looking really bad for SkarBrand. He looked like he was good in the beginning, but then he just left the Blood Root to dwindle on with Minotaurs. Minotaurs will just crump anything they touch. He's trying to do a deflection tactic right now, have SkarBrand eat the attention of the Minotaurs, but the Minotaurs need to just shoot away the Blood Root. The Blood Root goes, I think this game's just pretty much halfway in the bag for Adam. Yeah, these Exalted Bloodletter really need to do work. They're gonna be they will chop through all the chaff, but they'll be tired at the end of it. They'll probably get like 2, maybe 3 units if Adam's not paying attention. Fleshhounds I don't dislike, going away, shooting all those units. SkarBrand tussling with the Minotaurs, not really ideal if I'm gonna be honest. I mean, you saw what they did to the Blood Brute. The Blood Brute's gonna be trying to rack up heals because he only heals in combat with that Gore Beast ability. Yeah, it's, SkarBrand really needs to be careful, because if, he's not, he could lose SkarBrand as well. And that's just a recipe for, GG's. Although I think with his caliber, he should be able to handle this. It's not the worst. With the agency that Adam has, he's doing a good job of just pressuring SkarBrand, trying to get the points, although I think I see a lot of players do this. Sometimes I do this myself when I try to go for like a triple cap right away, try to force my opponent onto objectives, but with how much time you have in these games, they can usually rack up from 15 to 20 minutes, 15 on average, in a Dom game, I would say. And that just leaves you a lot of time that you don't really need to kill anything. You could just sit on the objectives, not take fights, and just win that way. Sure, getting triple capped early would suck, especially if your opponent has a lot of units. I'm talking a lot of units, likes to buy time, like zombie count, like vampire counts, zombie counts, vampire counts. Sorry about that, guys. Just talking too much, talking too fast. All right, look at the value right now. Adam is no surprise ahead. He's got 7 more units. He's chasing down the Bloodroot and SkarBrand because he knows if they go, the game's done. SkarBrand being the Khorne main, he's been, I don't know. I don't dislike his choices. He's definitely going with the fun build. But I think Adam's just doing a bit too much chasing. He's letting SkarBrand just buy time for the heals. SkarBrand's doing his little tricks where he heals up his units like the Bloodroot Behemoth. Like this right here, you see the Fleshhounds. They're trying to catch up with the screens. And then the Bloodroot just stops the charge and just goes and starts cleaning up. And the Bloodroot will beat Fleshhounds, no problem. Stats are way better than Fleshhounds, way better. And then you have all these units just chasing SkarBrand. And he doesn't really need to chase SkarBrand, honestly. He just needs to hide on 2 points. Well, not hide, but build up forces on 2 points. Preferably his home objective and the mid objective. Have Skulltaker just sitting in between both, so he can react to wherever they go. SkarBrand is now just cleaning up on home objective, getting what's essentially free pickups of units. Yeah, the disintegration of Furies, the Fleshhounds, all this could be avoided pretty easily, if I'm being honest. He just keeps them all together, instead of, you know, getting separated to get hit. Yeah, it's just a bit messy. Shoot, he doesn't even need to have Skulltaker in the middle. He could have Skulltaker in the center, have Minotaurs in the middle between 2 points, and just react that way. Also, it doesn't help out, he's forgetting units like the Marauders, his Marauder Horsemen over in that side of the map, and Furies on the other side. But yeah, it looks like SkarBrand's slowly but surely coming back, and it looks like he's taking my advice. He's going in the middle, he's trying to hunker down. He still has Wrathmongers, which is insane. Looks like, yeah, looks like SkarBrand's Wrathmongers got cleaned up. Fury's just sitting here ready to jump and ready to get their hit by axes. So yeah, how would I do this now if I were Adam? Well, I think I already know how we do it as Adam. SkarBrand's doing it perfectly fine, where it's just picking up units. And he just has to bait out the Wrathmongers. There's no way he killed Wrathmongers. I guess maybe with Exalted Bloodletters, he could get them with a rear charge and just start hacking away. Throw in a Marauder Horseman to just throw some axes in there, and you could just wear him down that way. Good charge here by SkarBrand having Bloodletters, I want to say, or are those Exalted Bloodletters? I think they're just regular. Nope, they're Exalted Bloodletters. Yep. They should be able to clean up the Khorne doors real quick. Ooh. Oh, I just love seeing Exalted Bloodletters. Such a great looking model. The Exalted ones especially. That's why I should have done my Bloodletters. My Bloodletters kind of have the black going on with their horns. But yeah, the scheme on these guys was so good. I wish I could get that burning, the flaming swords and the burning forehead on the Khorne mark. That is actually really hard to get on tabletop, at least for me. I need to figure out how to do that. Probably go look that up after this. It's such a cool, nice little aesthetic piece I would like to implement on my boys. Now the big showdown here in the middle, SkarBrand and Skulltaker. Although Skulltaker is way off on the side for some reason. He should be hampering here in the middle. SkarBrand going for, I think that's the Skull Reaper? No, the Cultist. Just to wear down some of the leadership buffs here that it provides. Although he could just let, maybe he's just baiting. I think he might just be baiting. Probably doing multiple things right here. Baiting and taking out a Skull Reaper and the Cultist. Because, yeah, I don't know how... I don't see what Adam's really trying to do. It looks like he was trying to fight in the middle, and then he switched over to the side, just trying to avoid the Bloodroot and SkarBrand, although I think he could take SkarBrand. Could just be buying time to get Minotaurs back in the game, because I don't see them anywhere. Wow! Wrathmongers absolutely crump Bloodletters. Okay, they're not Exalted Bloodletters, but it makes sense. If they were Exalted Bloodletters, I would have been very upset. Because they should be taking a good chunk out of the Wrathmongers if that's the case. Yeah, I really don't see what Adam's trying to do here. But he's closing the gap on value, though. These Wrathmongers should be able to pick up all these units. Yeah, he's got... Yeah. Yep. Bloodletters, Exalted Bloodletters, and more Bloodletters. It's the name of Khorne. Looks like on the side there, SkarBrand's kind of left on his own. The Bloodroot is still somehow around. Yeah, don't underestimate that healing. Even though it's 0.1%, it's still a lot if you let him sit there and gain all that HP back. Skull Taker versus SkarBrand. Are we finally getting that showdown? I think he's trying to bait up. Here come the Minotaurs to buffer out. Although SkarBrand has his own Minotaur, so they'll duke it out. Although Skull Taker's Minotaur should be able to win if he gives him the SkarBrand's Minotaurs the debuff. Here they come. And this is why SkarBrand loves SkarBrand. He guarantees the fights. He rages whatever he wants, so you gotta fight. And those Minotaurs got picked up. Holy shit. Khorne, Minotaur, SkarBrand. Yeah, that was just bad. Ugh, that's just a freebie. That just feels bad. Yeah, I wish SkarBrand still had that ability on tabletop where he forces a unit to stay with engagement range, just stay in combat. But it doesn't, which kind of sucks. You're paying a lot of points for that. And Skull Taker at 10, 16, he's healing, but can he beat SkarBrand? Here's the test, both low. And it's very insane that Skull Taker isn't disintegrating. All these units coming to buffer out Skull Taker. And it's actually SkarBrand the one that's disintegrating. That's insane. The fact that he couldn't trade even on the charge is nuts. And I don't know. That might be the beginning of the end here. Blood Beast coming in. I mean, a lot of SkarBrand's units are kind of... they're okay so far. I'm surprised a lot of them aren't disintegrating or just routing. Adam's still up 2k value. He's got healing on top of that. I mean, to be fair, so does SkarBrand, but it's here or there. Bloodroot is still somehow alive. There's 2 Minotaur units, though, and that's the only saving grace that SkarBrand has. And this is where having an unconventional army kind of helps out when you go more elite. A lot of your stuff won't end up routing off. Whereas if it was just a bunch of Marauders and Bloodletters, I think they would be disintegrating doing that. Now the question is, will Adam be able to... I mean, Skull Taker's pretty much out of this game at this point. And Adam just keeps trading objective after objective. He had the middle, he had the side, and now he's going to lose the middle, maybe lose the side as well. And he's got more units than SkarBrand, which is kind of insane. They're just, I guess, higher quality units. Yeah, Minotaurs. There's no Exalted Bloodletters from Adam, just... pretty much the same thing as always. Minotaurs, Khorne, and Marauders. A Fury here or there. Which, I don't really like Furies here. In this matchup, I don't really see you bringing Furies at all. You bring Fleshhounds to deal with Marauder Horsemen. If I'm being honest, Furies just don't feel good. If they go into Marauder Horsemen, well, Marauder Horsemen have 44 melee attack against them. That's not ideal. And they have the same unit count. Ooh, a Sword of Khorne! Will it do it? It's gonna do it. Oh, he's not paying attention. Oh, beautiful. So yeah, go against Khorne, try to go more elite, and I think that's gonna be GG's. There's just too big points difference. Well done, SkarBrand. Well done, Adam. If I'm being honest, I'd probably, if I were Adam, just lose Skull Reaper and the Cultist. Maybe go a bit more elite. Maybe Chaos Warriors Halberds, maybe more Khorne Gores in the open. That's what I would do, so you can buffer out a lot of those large units. Do you bring Bellowers? I don't know. That's a real toss-up. Maybe just go Minotaurs instead, in case you're worried about Bellowers. Alright, we're enough of me yapping. If you liked the video, please like, sub, follow me here on YouTube. We're on the road to 2,000. Come join me on the stream when we have them. And when we have our tournaments on Total Tavern, which is usually bi-weekly. I'm trying to get it more often, but we got a lot going on here on the channel. So yeah, with all that said, I hope you guys have a good one. Peace and goodbye for now.